You don't have to go far to experience the magic and beauty of Iceland with Gimli, host of the Icelandic Festival of Manitoba. In anticipation of the festival, a poetry and short story contest is held, inviting writers from around the world to showcase their creativity in the written arts. This year's theme is the Spirit of Iceland. To tell us more is festival board member Angela Collins.
My name is Angela Collins. I'm on the board of directors for the Icelandic Festival, and I am the director in charge of the head of poetry and prose.
Poetry and prose. So I saw that, there was the submission for calls, and I was like, whoa, this sounds super cool. So what can you tell me a little bit about this poetry and prose contest, how it all started, that sort of thing?
It's been around for quite a while. Me and my friend took it over in 2016, I think. They passed it on to us. But yeah, we have a judge from Winnipeg. So all the entries come to us and we send her the blind submission so she doesn't see like names or location or whatever. And there's many different categories. There's youth, there's adult, there's open. And there's prize money for each contest, so that's always a plus.
I think it's just a fun, additional thing that's tied in with the Icelandic Festival.
Yeah.
You started with a friend in 2016. How has that experience been for you, getting these submissions from excited people here in Manitoba?
It's really exciting, yeah. It's always nice to read them as soon as they come in, and then you anticipate, you kind of try to decide yourself who's going to be chosen, and it's always a surprise who gets picked. And to be able to tell people when they win, that's always fun. Really try to push our youth categories, especially. We like to get into schools, and
the more youth are involved in community events and celebration, it feeds moving forward. You want them to be passionate about different organizations and projects.
It's really a big contest, really. Writing is a big part of the Icelandic culture, too. There's many different things that really support it. And
the theme is called Spirit of Iceland. What does that mean to you?
Well, Iceland is a very spiritual place, the Northern Lights and the brightness and just bringing everything into words and the spirit it's just undeniably amazing there. I don't know, just so. I'm not kidding.
Well, have you ever visited?
I have never been there. I really want to go. One day I will make it there. One day.
I know it's been featured a couple of times in recent films. I mean, there was The Lamb by A24. I mean, a horror movie, but, it was still based in Iceland, and it was really fun just seeing, the sheep farmers there out on the mountains, and the recent The Northman that also takes place in Iceland, and it's just very cool that kind of Norse, how they've moved over to Iceland and kind of cultivated the land there, became sheep farmers.
It's being featured in a lot more movies and just everywhere around the world. I don't know, it's just such a beautiful country, and I'm proud to have it as part of my culture, definitely.
What made you want to, get involved in this poetry contest? Was it something that, all right, we need someone to take it over, here you go, or were you, yes, give it to me, I want to do this?
Honestly, it was that they needed someone to take it over. Me and my friend were already involved in the festival. During that festival weekend, we were always around. And, one night we're we should find a way to get involved. So we joined the committee and we help out in a lot of different areas. We took this on, and actually it's my friend's baby. She loves this program, this contest. I tried to get her to do this interview, to be honest. But
yeah, I know. I can be a little bit intimidating.
No.
So was it 2016 when you got involved in the board too, or were you involved prior to that?
We were involved prior. I've been on the board for, I think, about 8 years.
Time goes by fast.
Yeah.
Because I know this year is my 10 years since I graduated, and it's whoa, how did that already happen? What the?
I know, time just flies, yeah. Yeah, no, it's been a wild ride. It's a lot of work goes into planning these festivals that people don't realize.
when you're having to, get submissions, build excitement for it. That's so much work.
Social media helps a lot with that. But yeah, no, we have to put the effort in to get the entries. So yeah.
So over these, I guess it's been, 2016 to 6 years. 6 years, got to do math.
Yeah.
6 years since you first started. Has there been any short stories or poems that have stood out to you from some of the submissions?
Can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's definitely some really good ones that came out.
How is engagement usually for these contests? How many submissions are there on average?
We often get, I'm trying to think, last year we get entries from all around the world.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Had about 60 last year, I think. Or maybe more. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just cool. You have this town of Gimli just hanging out in kind of a north central Manitoba. Or I guess it's technically still in the southern part of Manitoba, but just by Lake Winnipeg. It's just cool that you have submissions from all over the world.
It makes giving them their winnings a little tough when they're in a different continent. but yeah, it's definitely interesting to see their writing styles and everything.
It's a great excitement to get your work out, that it's being featured at a really cool festival.
Yeah. Yeah, and the winners also get, there's a magazine called the Icelandic Connection, and they post in there. And they also have an opportunity if they want to read their poem on the stage on the long weekend. I have a program I also run called Music and Poetry in the Park on Sunday afternoon. So we give them the option to come and read their poem out in the park.
Oh, see, that's really fun. Not only is it it doesn't have to be just a faceless submission then. You can actually go out, read your works in front of people.
Had a few good readings on the stage there.
When did you open up submissions this year?
About a month ago, I think. Maybe a little more. Middle of, I don't know, year has flown by. I think we sent them out the middle of February, end of February, we posted it. And then submissions are due by June 5th.
Do you ever feel bad that you can't enter the contest as someone running it?
I don't know. I'm not the greatest with words, as you've already seen. No. So I'll just stick to reading them.
That's okay. Not every person is a writer. We need people to organize, control the logistics of events like this. Someone who may be creative of mind might not be great at organizing an event.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone has their strengths. What are the guidelines when writing these short stories, poetry, and can people do both? Can they submit to both categories?
Well, they can definitely submit to both categories, but we ask that they only send one short story, which can only be up to 2,500 words, and up to 3 different poems. You can enter both, and winners are asked not to submit for 2 years after they win, just to give other people a chance. But say if they won in a short story, they can enter a poem the next year.
And then there was something about youth and adult categories?
Yeah, there's a youth category, one adult category, and then there's an open category. There's a prose open, poetry open, and then youth for both short story and open. And definitely. Yeah. And they get a little cash if they win. So it's no entry fee, and they can have a chance to get money.
How do they get the submissions to you?
Writing contest at Icelandicfestival.com.
We have the Icelandic Festival coming up. When is that exactly?
It's an August long weekend. So this year it falls on July 29th to August 1st. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I guess that must be pretty exciting, being able to have in-person events again.
Oh, so exciting. Can't wait for it to be back to normal.
It's been a while. I know with things opening up and going to events or just going out to a bar or something, it feels so nice to finally not be locked in a room. This was my life for 2 years.
Yes, definitely. It's getting a little sickening, but we had to do what's best, so.
Exactly. We got to
Yeah.
protect people.
Yeah.
And, now that we have a vaccine, it's
Yeah.
safer.
Yeah.
Now we can
Yeah.
celebrate.
Hmm.
And is there like a specific aspect of the festival this year that you're excited for?
I'm excited for all of it, to be honest, but like I'm really involved in like all the music portion, and I'm really excited to have for us to have a parade back, our good big parade back again on Monday.
Parades almost feel like a distant memory at this
I
point.
know. Yeah, I'm really excited for our parade, but yeah, the music we have, like live entertainment at the festival we have, is always really good. So I'm looking forward to that again.
Hmm. Plus, Gimli is such a nice community, right?
Oh, it's a beautiful community. Proud to
It's a
call it home.
beautiful place, right by the lake.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So, why is it important, to hold contests like this in conjunction with, larger festivals?
It gives people like, especially it keeps them active and involved throughout the year. Like this contest doesn't happen during the weekend, it happens prior, so it gives them something to do before the festival, and so it keeps them like excited for the festival itself. And yeah, and who doesn't
That
love a contest?
exactly, get that competitive side in, start
Hmm.
getting that writing down, writing about the spirit of Iceland.
Yeah.
So, where can people go to find out more information about this contest?
They can go to the festival website, icelandicfestival.com, and all the information is posted there.
Is there anything else that you would like to add about this festival, this contest, or just Gimli and just Iceland in general?
Well, I guess just the festival itself. Like, I hope people are gonna come on down and experience it in person again. We're really excited to have everything in person, and we're gonna do our best to make it one for the books.
Of course, you got to just kind of come and just make a grand slam as
Yeah,
everyone gets back into
yeah,
festivals and celebrating again.
yeah.
The most important thing about these festivals and events is just support for them. Is there any need for like volunteers or other things to make this contest happen, or maybe even the festival?
This contest itself doesn't really need volunteers. It doesn't have too much work to do. Like, but the festival is always looking for volunteers. There's always a need. There's so many jobs that need help, and like it's a lot of manpower. It's a lot of just telling people where to go, helping people find directions, helping with a lot of the entertainment or like the contests, or like there are so many volunteer opportunities, and I encourage people to come out and try.
It can be a lot of work to volunteer, specifically a festival. But if people don't volunteer, then these festivals get harder and harder and harder to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I personally love to volunteer, and I do a lot of it. So it's really rewarding, to be honest, and I feel like you can get a lot out of it, and really like just giving back without getting anything is.
So I guess it wouldn't necessarily be you're not getting anything
No,
out
yeah,
of
you
it.
get lots
You get
actually.
it. You get to go to a festival.
Yeah.
You get to see people, meet people.
Yeah.
Who knows what sort of stories can come out
Yeah.
of it?
You get a
Weird
volunteer
things can happen.
shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a memory right there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Angela, for taking the time to talk with me a little bit about
Yeah.
this poetry and short story contest. I'm excited to see the submissions when they come out later.
Yeah, the winners will be posted on the website and in our program, as well as the Icelandic Connection, so you can keep an eye out for them there.
If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.